dream come true from out of the night. When I first saw you, I met. Oh no, no. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh no, no. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
How y'all doing out there, man? We live again. The Lindsays, we back. TJ Lindsay.
I'm Ty.
My baby Ty Lindsay. So we had a special episode for y'all today. Today we're gonna give y'all a talk today. It's actually like a conversation we're gonna have with the men, and then she's gonna have a conversation with the women, and it's gonna be the three most important things that you've learned and three things you want to keep in your mind as you're going through life as a young man, older man, as a man in general, young woman, older woman, just as a woman in general. So we're gonna go ahead and get it kicked off here. So you want to start, or you want me to, or how you want to do that? Okay, so I'll go ahead and start with the first one. So the first one that I had on my list was, pull it up, know your worth as a man. So, and was that on your list too? Mm-hmm. So that's actually on both of our lists, so we could just just talk about it, once at a time. So knowing your worth as a man is important for so many different reasons. As a man, when you coming up, a lot of the time you kind of in this society, you kind of taught to be, a tough guy, and you taught to go out and do things that you can prove yourself and all of those things that may help you out, but they also may hurt you in the long run. So knowing your worth means just knowing exactly who you will be in the future, sacrificing who you are now for who you will be going forward. So you got to always have in the back of your mind, like, how far do I want to take this? So you don't put yourself in situations that could compromise what you're trying to do, your mission, So knowing your worth may mean not going out and partying as much. It may mean not having as many women. It may mean not, trying to be that popular guy, because you're trying to, because you see your future self as somebody that's going to be respected, as wealthy, whatever you want as far as a goal for you. But you always got to be able to let go of what you are now in hopes of what you will become. We talked about building and destroying. That's the same thing. Being able to preserve yourself, in a way that'll allow for future growth. And to do that, one thing that I want to talk about is you got to be disciplined. So discipline is a huge word as a man that you got to understand early. Being disciplined means setting schedules, being on time, waking up early, disciplining yourself to just working out, anything, any kind of projects that you got going on, being able to set schedules and go by those things. If you working out, if you wanna be good at something, just holding yourself to it. We talked about a man being a man of his word and how important your word is. If once you speak those words, being able to discipline your life around those things and make it almost like a religious practice to get that done. So know your worth. If you have to, it's like in the book. I always talk about the book. I go back to the book Pimp, Iceberg Slim book, where he talks about in that book that you have to be able to stay away from certain things in order to be the best that you can be. In that book, it was a different kind of topic, but you gotta be able to let go of the pleasures of the world sometimes in order to focus on yourself. And how would you explain that as far as to women?
So for women, I think it's a little bit tougher for us. You might disagree, but I just do. Because we're like super emotional. So when I think about, knowing your worth, that includes like relationships, even outside of relationships, but also friendships. We would consider those relationships too, but it's difficult because I've been in situations where it's hard for me to, what word am I looking for? hard for me to let go of some things. It's hard for me to let go of some friends, you know. I think we're just emotionally attached to these things, and that is what makes it difficult for us to really get to know our worth. However, that goes back to the affirmations that we were talking about in the last episode. Just speaking those daily affirmations to yourself. I personally believe that we're just scared. And that's going to be, we got that on our list too. We're just scared to let some things go. Or we're scared to see ourselves in a different light, like in a positive light. You know, we're so used to being this specific way that we're scared to see anything different. So we become accustomed to that. I'm trying to think what else.
Good point so far. Real good point.
So,
real good.
Self-worth, like he said, also you definitely got to make sacrifices. You definitely have to be disciplined. You have to be willing to see it through. Only you know yourself. You know yourself better than anybody else. So you ultimately know what you're worth. You know that you are of value. So just speaking those affirmations to yourself or reassuring yourself, being positive, trying to surround yourself with positive people or positive things. Go into a hobby. That's what I've been doing lately. I've been figuring out I got a lot of different talents that I probably would have never ever explored. But you know, when you got time on your hands, go into a hobby that helps you grow and learn yourself even more, and that helps you with the healing process as well. Yourself, because you're spending time by yourself versus doing this thing with everybody else. So definitely discipline though. Like that's a huge one. Discipline. You gotta be disciplined, and you have to be willing to sacrifice. You definitely do. It's tough, but you have to in order to get to the point to where you know your self-worth. Set boundaries. That's another one. Ladies, you gotta set boundaries with men, friends, just period in life. You really have to set boundaries. Like TJ said, he mentioned getting on a routine. That's that also, but really setting boundaries. You really want to set boundaries for yourself.
That's it. Yeah. So that's pretty much everything as far as with knowing your worth. So number 2 that I had on there is it kind of coincides with the same thing a little bit. The second one I had is no fear. So not being scared, and that's a twofold process with having no fear, because sometimes you can take it in 2 different ways. One way you can take it is having no fear in life, not being scared to fail, not being scared to lose, not being scared to start over again. You know what I'm saying? Not being scared scared of anything. As a man, you got to be able to conquer your fears. You know what I'm saying? Like when y'all seen Will jump out the airplane. You know what I'm saying? That was a way of him, conquering his fear. You know what I'm saying? It's you have to do that in your life as a man. It builds positive skills. It builds strength. It builds character. So just having no fear in that aspect. But the second thing I think is even more important, the way that you can frame that question. We was just having this conversation not too long ago about on the movie Coach Carter. So if we take it to the movie Coach Carter, where he talked about Coach Carter kept asking Cruz, what's your biggest fear? He kept on asking what's your biggest fear. He didn't know at first, but he went back and did the research, and he gave him the quote from this speaker that has the quote. So our biggest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our biggest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's our light that most frightens us, not our darkness. So sometimes we're afraid to be who we actually are. You know what I'm saying? We're afraid because we think that our light could dim somebody else's light. Or we think that, let's say you're a smart person, but you're growing up around people that don't see you being smart as something that's cool or something that's, something that's acceptable, So you'll dumb yourself down in order to fit in with them. And in all actuality, you can't be afraid to spread your wings, So I think that's the most important thing as far as about fear, is not being afraid to be great, you know what I'm saying? Not being afraid to be powerful. Because you're going to blame yourself at the end of the day if you don't use everything that you got in your tank, every little bit of gas that you got. you have to be able to use it, and to just don't be afraid of that final form, that final Super Saiyan, you know, that you can become. Never be afraid to get to the next level, and you always trying to reach the next level. You got to be Goku in this life. So,
but yeah, basically to piggyback off of what he said, just going into life, literally with no fear. And again, this is a man and a woman thing. So since I'm a woman and I'm speaking these things to y'all, like, why are you in fear of anything? We pop out babies. Period. We pop out babies. Like, that's scary. Once you get past that, I mean, what can life throw at you that you could be so in fear of or afraid of? You know, you just gotta be, like I said before, I think a lot of times we're scared of change. We're scared of change, and what TJ said, we're scared to fail, we're scared to lose, and all of that is just a part of life. It happens, but you get back up and you do it again. You just keep going. And I like to talk about fear I think fear plays in a lot in with love. I think women specifically, I think we do a lot of love out of fear of losing this person. And to me, that's not genuine love. I don't want, like, my family, my friends, I don't love them out of the fear of losing them. Never have. I literally love them unconditionally. I know that if anything was to ever happen to them, you know, Lord forbid they pass away, I can cry tears of joy because I was able to love you unconditionally. I was able to give you that love. I was able to have a great relationship with you. Now I'm not sitting back saying, dang, I wish I would have did this, or I wish I would have said this and did this differently. But let me go to this next person and just love them just in case something happened. That's loving somebody out of fear. Even when you're in a relationship, I don't love TJ out of the fear of losing him. I love him unconditionally. So it's like nothing that happens between us that I would be like, dang, if I would have did this differently, or I wish So that word fear, it's everywhere with us. And you can't be afraid. You can't. Like I said, we had babies. There is nothing else. And when we go lay down to give birth, we can die. We're literally giving life to somebody else. We can literally die. We're past that. A lot of us we done birth 4, 5 kids. Some of y'all 6, 7, 8. Like, what can life throw at you at this point? You just gotta get up and keep going.
Facts. Absolute facts. Sometimes we're scared to lose, but sometimes we also scared to win.
That is true.
So that's what we was talking about there. And then the third thing that I have to conclude, the 3 things, my message to the men out there, young and old, is being proactive. So a lot of people go through life and they so reactionary, you know what I'm saying? Everything that happens, everything that they do is reacting to something else, you wake up and you don't know what you're gonna do that day, you know what I'm saying? You don't have any kind of plan, you don't have any kind of reason, you know what I'm saying? Nothing specific to do what you're trying to do. Being proactive involves creating the world around you, you know what I'm saying? Not just living in it. Because if you're living in it, then things are gonna happen to you. I heard one time this guy told me, it's not what happens to you, it's what you do after that thing happens. Now, if you go about it in that way and something happens and now you gotta figure it out, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. But if you already thought about it, if you already said that, if I do this, this could happen, so I'm gonna do this. You being proactive, you already built and winning into your life. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be able to build that into your life. It's like a fail-safe mechanism into your life to where if things go wrong, I'm gonna do this. But when you proactive and you actively planning and you putting things in order, a lot less will go wrong. When you wake up with a plan of what you want to accomplish, or if you have like a long-term plan and you scheduling your life around that, it's a lot less that can go wrong because you already planning for it. So be proactive. Don't just fall out of bed in the morning and now let me figure it out. Nah, you should figure it out before you even get up. You know what you're gonna do before you get up.
Figure it out. So my last one is not proactive. My last one for the ladies is self-love, self-care. That is important to your journey as growing as a woman. Again, I mentioned boundaries and things of that nature, discipline, sacrifice, all of that really ties in with that. I think a lot of times, I had a conversation with a friend and I was just like, you know what, next time we do a video, I'm going to relay this message. I challenged her to do an assignment. I told her, you know, sit down, write everything down that you ever did that you were disappointed in yourself, that you were mad at yourself about. I think with a lot of women I have come across, myself included, I think that we hold on to our disappointments a lot. And us doing that, it's hard for us to really give ourselves the genuine love and care that we need. And when we operate with people, sometimes it's not genuine because we got our own little mental thing that we're dealing with. So my assignment to her was, you know, write down everything that you're disappointed in yourself about. Write it down. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive myself. This is not me. This is no longer me. Rip it up and get rid of it. Really forgive yourself for whatever it is that you ever done. I think women, we're just hard on ourselves sometimes, and it don't be that deep. Because we're all human at the end of the day. We all make mistakes. We all might have done something that disappointed others, ourselves. We can't believe we did this. I can't tell you how many times I look back and be like, dang, Ty, you did that. And I would dwell on it. And I would block many blessings. I would block a lot of stuff because I was so sheltered, because I was disappointed in myself. Now, I don't want you to say anything, because if you say anything, then it's going to be a trigger. And I feel like you attacking me when really you're not. It's in my brain because I'm mad at myself. I haven't forgiven myself. So you have to forgive yourself in order to begin that healing process and to give yourself love and care, because that's important. If you do not love yourself, it's hard for you to operate in this world. You're going to be lost. You're going to be, my voice getting shaky. I'm about to cry. But seriously, because I'd have been through some things, y'all, and you have to love yourself. You have to give yourself the correct love, the correct amount of love. Take care of yourself. You have to in order to operate in this life. Especially if you have kids, or especially if you want to be in a relationship, or especially if you want to build different relationships and network, have your own business, things of that nature. A lot of times we block those blessings because we're so uptight about what we mad about. It don't even got nothing to do with nobody else. So I challenge y'all to do that assignment. Sit down, everything you've ever done that you mad at yourself about. Write it down, and then let yourself know, I forgive you. You are worth it. You are of value. You deserve it. You do. You deserve it. Even though you did what you did, the past is in the past. I forgive you. Move forward. You deserve it. A lot of times we feel like we don't deserve it, but we do. That's my message to y'all.
Just to piggyback, just a small section. We call that in basketball, we call that having the next play mentality. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you come down court, you turn the ball over one time, and now you're thinking about, I turned it over. I don't want to turn it over no more. That's gonna hinder your game. That's gonna hinder what you're trying to do for the rest of the game. Life is a game, you know. So if you turn the ball over in the first quarter, you got 3 turnovers. You 0 for 4. Don't stop shooting, because we miss 1,000% of the shots we don't take.
Period. Come on.
I told you I had you.
I'm still looking for 2 other women for the video that I told y'all about. Either you are going through currently postpartum depression, or you've experienced it. 2 other women, already got 1 person. There's a person on Facebook I want to lead y'all to. Her name is Melissa Crawford. She's real big on self-love and self-care. I don't know if she noticed, but she helped me a lot. Like, I followed her. I don't even know how we became friends, but she's awesome. I don't know if she'll accept your friend request. Hopefully she will, because she big on energy. But she helped me a lot. And like just looking at her posts and stuff and different things that she would do, different videos that she would post, you know, just taking care of herself, showing that self-love and self-care. So check her out if you need help with that, but do that assignment.
And men, if y'all got any, you know, I do a lot of reading as well. So that's another function of being proactive. Reading, you never know what information you're gonna know. You know, you don't know what you don't know. I just talked about to my boy Joe about that the other day. But if you got anything like, I'll give y'all some book suggestions, or like I said, I read a lot of books. I can give y'all some suggestions, pointing to a lot of this stuff. Got some great books that help me in real hard times in my life. But I mean, that's pretty much all we got today. Our wedding video coming soon. So y'all gonna see the wedding. My baby did a beautiful job with the decorations. So if y'all need them decorations, y'all know what to do. Hit her up. Website coming soon. We're getting everything in order right now. Get that out. Album out right now, all streaming platforms.
Period.
If you need any work, you already know I do everything from a production standpoint, top to bottom. So, but we out. Love y'all. Y'all be safe. Take care of yourself. Self-love. No fear.
No fear.
Know your worth. You know what I'm saying? Be proactive. And you on your way.